Love started out like a fairy tale, passion so hot it blew up like a bomb. He introduced me to all of his friends, and I took him to meet my mom. We couldn't keep our eyes off each other, couldn't keep our hands to ourselves. You're so cute together, everyone said. I didn't want nobody else. And the first argument happened, it came out of the blue. Things got heated, screaming and cursing, that's when his true colors came through. He refused to leave that night, so I gave in and let him stay. But things just went from bad to worse after the fight that day. I told myself at least he doesn't hit me, no bruises to show, no broken bones. I told myself at least he doesn't hit me, but fear still lived inside that home. At least he doesn't hit me, he punched the wall instead. When I catch him in a lie, he'd tell me it's all in my head. I'd see messages from other girls, he'd say I imagine what I read. He'd make threats and say I was crazy when I'd tell him I was afraid. He'd scream and keep me up all night when he didn't get his way. Every time I tried to end it, oh, his temper, it would flare. Friends tried to come to my rescue, but then they'd be just as scared. I told myself, at least he doesn't hit me, no bruises to show, no broken bones. I told myself at least he doesn't hit me, but fear still lived inside that home. At least he doesn't hit me, he punched the wall instead. Just call the cops, they would say, but they didn't understand. The system is a failure, it embarrasses victims and frees the man. Besides, you don't do that to someone you love. You try to work things out. Maybe he was right every time he said it was my fault when he'd shout. Maybe it was my fault that he'd cheat. Maybe it was my fault he needed drugs. It was all my fault cause I'd go cold every time we'd touch. Maybe it was my fault when I said I'd call the cops and he dove into me to get my phone. Maybe he wouldn't have punched the wall by my head if I just left well enough alone. I told myself at least he doesn't hit me, no bruises to show, no broken bones. I told myself at least he doesn't hit me, but fear still lived inside that home. At least he doesn't hit me, he punched the wall instead. If I hadn't been so difficult, he would've let me leave that day. At least he doesn't hit me, he punched the wall instead. I'd say, he'd tell me if he couldn't have me, no one could, and I'd tell him there was no one else. Every time I tried to end things, he threatened to kill himself. Each time I tried to walk away, his voice echoed in my ears. I knew I really loved this man, and it was my imagination causing my fears. But then everything just escalated, and I tried to kick him out. I finally got the law involved, and they made him leave the house. After court, he showed up later that night, dressed in camo, parked a block away. Said if he really wanted to hurt me, he could, and I should've let him stay. I got paranoid, startled by every noise, always looking over my shoulder. A court order is just paper, he said, it just seemed to make him bolder. Cops would just make matters worse, EPO was just a misdemeanor to violate. He'd go to jail for a day or two, and then I'd have hell to pay. At least he doesn't hit me, he punched the wall instead. Tired, hurt, and ego destroyed, I had to learn to defend myself, because I knew that when the time came, I couldn't count on anyone else. So I went out and did what all women should do and got myself some protection. I refused to be the victim any longer of this abuse he called affection. He kept making threats and didn't take it well when I said I was finally done. But then he finally believed me and left me alone when I introduced him to my gun. At least he doesn't hit me, at least he doesn't hit me, at least he doesn't hit me. He punched the wall instead.